Hey everyone, Orlando from Pure Hustle Podcast. I know this is not as polished as a usual Monday minisode. That's because Mike is not with me. Mike is the guy that makes everything look really smooth, with our intro and our outro. But decided to go live. Uh, I'm covering for Mike a little bit. He actually didn't, he wasn't able to make it just because a lot going on. And actually, I think I just told him I'll go live on this one just because he helped me out last week. Last week I was really busy. I was actually at an educators conference, and so I couldn't make the live. And so he created that awesome video on going to not eBay, an Amazon store. So check out that video if you haven't checked it out. It'll be actually at the end of this video, one of the cards, or you can just go to our channel. But I wanted to talk today about how eBay can become almost passive income while you're on vacation. And let's be real, like right now it's July 1st, right, as I'm recording this, and I'm in San Diego and it is hot. The weather it's pretty nice over by the beach. It's about 70 something degrees. And last thing I want to do right now is go sourcing. Last thing I want to do right now is ship out items unless I have a lot of them and I have the ability to make a lot of money. So that's what this Monday minisode is going to be about. I appreciate all of you that will be joining me here soon on the live. This was unexpected, not announced. So if you haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Make sure to hit that like button and make sure to hit that bell notification. So whenever we do drop some random live like I am right here, you are notified when we are going live. So I wanted to talk today about how eBay can be almost passive income while you're away. Now, there is no such thing as true passive income, at least not in my experience. You always have to do something. But in the reselling world, right, there's Amazon. Amazon's kind of passive, right? But it does take a lot of legwork, right? You have to be able to source a ton of items. You have to be able to send those items over to FBA. And while you're on vacation, those items sell and you're good. eBay can kind of be like that, but it's not exactly like that, because when you get back home, you're going to be the one that ends up having to pack and ship those items. So I wanted to talk about this real quick because I know many of you are going on vacation this July, or maybe you've thought about going on vacation. And when I've been sourcing on eBay, I keep checking out people's stores and it's always like time away. Seller will return on this date. So I'm thinking a lot of you right now, especially in July, are taking time away. But I want you to continue selling on eBay because you can still make money. It's kind of nice when you're on vacation and these sales keep coming through. You're like, wow, even though I was away, I was still making money plus enjoying my trip. And so it's very possible, right, to end up going on vacation, make money on vacation. Maybe you could even source on vacation, but we'll talk about that on our long form podcast that drops this Wednesday. All right. So the first thing is, like I mentioned before, if you're selling on eBay, you can make money while on time away. So time away is that setting on eBay that when you leave for a trip, you can put up to 15 days and sales can continue. All right, you want to make sure you do that. You want to make sure that you do the 15 days. You also have the option of like no sales. I would not recommend that unless you know that you're going to be gone for a super long time. Like maybe, you're backpacking through Europe for 3 months. Maybe you don't want to do that. But if you're going on like on a week trip or 2 week, even maybe 3 or 4, maybe it's worth to keep having those sales. But eBay only gives you up to 15 days to let those sales go through. Now, before you leave, though, there's a few things you want to do. You want to make sure you take a lot of pictures of items. You want to make sure you have a lot of items ready to go on drafts. That's helped me out a ton because eBay likes activity. No matter what, even if you're on vacation, eBay wants to see activity. And I do that. Usually when I'm really disciplined, I have about 10 or 15 items that I can quickly list every single day while I'm away. Usually it takes me about 30 minutes tops. And it keeps my eBay store active. So you want to have that going. I've had it before where I've had like a major haul a few days before, and I make that priority that I'm going to take all these pictures. I'm going to either save them on my Dropbox or maybe I'll have them on my drafts. The only thing with drafts, there's always this notorious narrative that drafts disappear on eBay. So you want to be careful. Jonathan says, vacation, LOL, July is my Q4. And guess what? Don't go on vacation then. You do what you got to do. July has actually started really strong for me. July 1st and June 30th has been one of my strongest days I've had in a little bit. So I totally get that. So you want to make sure you have everything ready to go. You also want to make sure that you have all your shipping stuff. Like if you have any shipping supplies that you're going to need, make sure you pick that up beforehand, because the worst is when you come back from vacation and the next day you got to ship out items and you're like, oh, I don't have tape, I don't have boxes, I don't have all this, and then you end up under a lot of stress. You want to make sure you have everything ahead of time. All right, but the key thing is source a good amount of stuff that you can have drafts ready to go or pictures ready to go so you can get your listing going. Next is your auto message. All right, if you haven't done time away, if you go over to your store on your seller hub and you click on time away, there's the auto message part. On the auto message, you want to just say something nice. And usually what I say is, thank you so much for your business. I just want to let you know that I'll be away until a certain date and time. And then on this day, I will ship out. Really appreciate you purchasing my items, or whatever you want to say. Usually I end with a thank you at the end. I always start anything I ever message, something really nice, business, and then something really nice. And that's kind of what you want to have your auto message. That prevents you from having to message every single person that buys something from you on vacation. Back in the day, I remember you used to have to do that. Like you used to have to extend shipping time, and that would allow your store to stay active. And anytime somebody bought something, you ended up having to send a message. Okay, now some people have argued, actually on the last live, not argue, but have brought up the point of it's better to extend your shipping and handling than doing time away. I actually say that that's not the case anymore. That was the case maybe 3 or 4 years ago before eBay refined the process. Now I strongly encourage everybody, do the time away, have the auto message, but make sure the auto message is very clear. Number one, you're thankful for their business. Number two, you are very clear about how long you're going to be gone. And then number three, when you will ship out the item. So make sure you do all those things. And then don't worry about messaging, right? You're on vacation. If somebody sends you a message like, hey, cancel or something, then obviously you need to reply. But remember, when you're on vacation, you want to stay on vacation. Now, you want to make sure you allow sales for up to 15 days. You can technically, as the days wind down, let's say you're on a 14-day trip and you put that you're going to be gone 14 days. Maybe on day 13, you could change it to 13 and then 12 and then 11 and then 10 and 9. So it doesn't sound as bad. But, I don't think that's necessary. Some people do that. But make sure you put the amount of time. Now, more important to that is give yourself an extra day. One thing I used to do a lot when I was first full-time reselling is I wanted to get things out right away, like right away. And I still do that on my normal day. Like today, I shipped out stuff in the morning. I shipped out stuff in the afternoon. But while I'm on vacation, you know how it is. You need a vacation from your vacation, right? So you understand, you come back from a trip, you come home, and it's nice to be back home, even though you're probably at a really nice destination. And then you have to actually pack and ship stuff. The reality is you're not going to want to. It's going to be drudgery. So why not give yourself an extra day to settle in, relax a little bit, and then ship things out? Now, a lot of people will say, you're going to end up killing your sales if you put time away on vacation. People aren't going to want to buy because they're going to need stuff right away. It all depends on what you sell. Okay, so if you're selling items like clothing, maybe that might be something that's urgent. Maybe shoes, maybe something that is related to the holidays. Maybe, like right now it's July 1st and 4th of July, and somebody wants something for 4th of July. Well, obviously that's something that, business might go down a little bit. But if it's a collectible, most of the time it's something unique, something that people want. They don't mind waiting. I've maybe out of, I don't know, I've probably have sold, I want to say maybe 2,000 items over the last, 10 or so years while I've been on vacation. That might be a little bit exaggerated, maybe 1,000. I don't know. It's been a lot. I've only had like one person cancel saying, yeah, I really needed this by this date. Most of the time people don't care, especially if they're getting a good deal. Make sure, you give that good deal. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. Before we move on though, somebody asked a question. Somebody said, so can I do it for all items at once? Is perfect for leaving next week for vacay? Yes. When you go to store on your seller hub and you go to time away, it allows you to do it for your entire store. So you don't have to stress about it. You can go on vacation. Now, I do encourage you, when you are on vacation, take offers. If they're a little bit lower than you're comfortable with, I would still take offers. Now, if they're super low ball and there's no profit to be made, or it's, it's less than 50%, then obviously I wouldn't take it. But listen, if you're on vacation, right, the chances that the algorithm is going to be pushing your items full on as if it was, while you're at home and not on vacation, I don't think they're as great. But if you continually have sales, you're just going to trigger more sales. And that, I'm not saying that's The truth, that's speculation. But in my experience on eBay over several years, eBay likes it when you make sales. The reason they like making sales is because they make money. And so if you're getting offers sent and you're not accepting them or you're declining them consistently over time, then things will really slow down for you on vacation. So make sure that when you're on vacation, you're taking offers. Hey, having a few sales in a day is better than no sales because you didn't take that one and maybe it didn't trigger other sales. All right. So make sure you allow yourself time for other sales. Now, if you have any questions, you're watching this live right now. If you want to ask anything, make sure to ask. I'm always willing to, anything eBay related, have the conversation. It is a mini so I'm only going to go for a few more minutes. It's a short one. Again, if you haven't yet, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe and also hit that bell notification so you're notified when an episode drops. Now, this last one's going to be a little controversial because not everyone's going to want to do this, but I do it at times. So let's say I'm on vacation and I decide to stop at a thrift store. Or like this last time, I actually went to garage sales on one of the days. It was a vacation. It was a business trip, but I decided to go to garage sales. And I was able to pick up a ton of items that were really small. And I also use a photo room. Photo room is an app that uses AI to remove the white background. It's really smooth. It's great. I'm not sponsored by them. Maybe we'll be sponsored in the future. We have been in the past. But I personally pay for a photo room, and it is a great tool. So I ended up picking a bunch of discontinued toys actually at this garage sale. It was about like 30 or 40 of them. And I decided to, you know what? I got some dead time. I have my phone. I have photo room. You know what? I'm going to just take a picture of all these items. So I cranked out these pictures. I probably took like an hour and a half where I was staying, took these pictures, used photo room, and I ended up actually listing, I want to say 15 on one day and then the rest on another day. And guess what? That triggered even more sales while I'm away. Now, you don't want to do that, okay? Especially if you're like, on a trip with your significant other or you're on a trip with your kids, you want to spend that quality time. But if there's a scenario where it's just you and you have some dead time and maybe you're bored, it doesn't hurt you to maybe source a little bit, maybe list a little bit, anything to trigger that algorithm. Again, no one really knows what triggers the algorithm. No one really knows what gets things up, in search, but that can help. All right, so these are just some suggestions for you. It's that time of the year where a lot of us are trying to get away. I'm trying to get away one more time here before August, and I'm going to have to go on vacation again. Maybe some of you are away right now, and you're like, I really wish I was getting some sales now. That'd be pretty awesome if you're listening to Pierre's Podcast while on vacation. I'd be impressed. Yeah, if you're on vacation and you're not getting any sales because you put time away, no sales, just turn it on. Just turn it on. Make sure you give yourself that extra day when you return. What is going on? Grams and Pots Finish, thanks for saying hi. Also, Jonathan, thanks again for saying hi. And Anthony, appreciate you guys in the chat. Anthony asked a question. Is it better to change the handling time? So I addressed this earlier on the mini-sode. My personal opinion is no. I think it's the same. I actually think it's more work for you to change the handling time because you always have to be on it, right? Every day you have to go, okay, now I'm going to change it to 10, I'm going to change it to 9, I'm going to change it to 8, I'm going to change it to 7. Where if you just do time away, you don't even have to worry about it. You have your auto message, you're good to go. And so, there you have it. Now, you could be like, just get it listed. That's a great title for what you commented here. You said, I don't plan on going away until December, trying to get all my piles listed. All right, great point. Let me talk about that a little bit. The best time as a full-time reseller to actually go on vacation is the last 2 weeks of December. It is, for me, it is dead. It is really, really dead. Things do pick up in January, but those are the best times. In the summer, July is actually a really good time. Jonathan earlier in the mini-sode had said July is his Q4. And I would say, yeah, that's been true for me a couple of times. I've had some of my best months in the summer. So you kind of got to figure out what your store, how your store functions, what you do. But December is really a great time to go away. You have those Q4 profits, right? Things are kind of quiet. And why not, right? Why not plan that vacation? Why not enjoy those profits? Pay yourself a little bit more than usual. Enjoy that time away. Go wherever you like to go, whether it be Hawaii or whether it just be the beautiful places like San Diego, where I'm from. So definitely appreciate that. So hopefully this mini-sode helped a lot of you. eBay is one of those great things that if you're consistent on it, you're whether it be buying stuff at low cost, finding great items, and you're always listing all the time consistently, that you can go on vacation, you can put your store on time away, and you can still make money while you're gone. And you come home and you're like, wow, that was great. I was able to go on vacation for a week or two, or maybe a little more, and I still made a decent amount of money while I was away. So take advantage of that opportunity, and hopefully you end up having a great summer, have a great time vacation, and continue making profits. So with that being said, make sure to be real, be relevant, and be reselling.